Glacier National Park. Let me tell you all about it. My journey starts in a town called Kalispell, and my plan was to start exploring West Glacier, bring myself up to the Going to the Sun Road, and then exploring the East Glacier. Unfortunately, in June, there was this huge snowfall which had caused the park to shut down the Going to the Sun Road. So nobody could actually get up there. And all the most scenic hikes are up there. My first day at Glacier National Park was not the best. I had a couple of frustrations. The first one was about the getting your car registration ticket. You could only purchase a ticket on the day before your travel to the Going to the Sun Road. And the problem with that is it opens at 8 a.m. and in my case, all tickets sold out in just a minute. So I tried it twice, and on my laptop I went and got and I was so ready to purchase the ticket. Then when I clicked on purchase, there was an error, and the error message just said there's too many people purchasing the ticket right now, please try again later. So immediately on my phone I logged in and did the same exact thing. And on that try, I saw that there's just 50 tickets left. So I tried it and the same error message popped up. There's too many people purchasing the tickets, please try again later. Refresh and tried again, and that's it, sold out in just 1 minute. Well, anyway, I found out later on, I still tried and drove through the entrance at West Glacier. And I spoke to one of the rangers and they said, no, we can't let you in because you don't have the ticket. But you could enter again 4 p.m. later that day. And they had recommended me to have a look at East Glacier, which is 2 hours away. So it's a long drive. So yeah, at that point I was not feeling great. Plans were canceled. I had to drive for 2 hours to reach East Glacier, and not too sure what to expect. And upon reaching to Medicine Lake, I was absolutely blown away by the glass-like waters. Now, over at 2 Medicine Lakes, as I was trying to create more B-roll shots of the scene, so I grabbed my gimbal and noticed that it's discharged. So somehow inside my backpack, the on switch got, I guess, accidentally turned on, and the batteries were just all fully drained. And on my way out, I had driven past the one-way sign, and so one of the rangers saw me do that and he called me out in front of all the people there. So yeah, that was not the best morning. And so anyway, I just headed over to my next destination, which is St. Mary's. So I had to drive over this another scenic road, which is sort of like driving at the edge of the mountain. So I couldn't help myself, was frustrated, and I wanted to take a breather. So I just stopped over at one of the lookouts, parked my car there, and saw that there was, I think, around 3 other cars and a biker. I was doing my own thing, taking pictures and videos, and in a few minutes, one by one, the cars left until it was just me and the biker. And I think he was waiting for everyone else to leave, and I was the last one there, so he asked me to take pictures of him and his bike, and took the pictures and took the videos. I took every shot I could take with his phone, a wide-angle shot, portrait shots, and all that. And as I was heading back to my car, opened my door and was looking at him, and he was smiling, and he just looked back at me and said, "Oh, thank you so much for the pictures," and that just made me better. And on to St. Mary Lake, and I can't even describe it. It's it's just so stunning. It's like the color of the lake and the mountain and the scenes and the drive. And I really let me just show you some pictures and videos. And over at that side, that's actually the other end of the Going to the Sun Road. And there's actually one spot there that's accessible. and it's the Jackson Glacier Overlook. And one thing that was special about that place is when I finally got a parking space, because there was a lot of people there, and I finally got down and started taking pictures of the glaciers. And there's this panel which explains how much the glacier has degraded over the years. And you could feel like people were silent and quiet, and there was a ranger there explaining the situation. And I think everybody there had the same question, how much time do we have left? It would just be a disgrace if we don't get to do our best to save the glaciers. So that had me thinking. I hope we could do anything, start to read into what we can do to help save what's left. Yeah, so that's what the glaciers did to me. I think I was done with the East Glacier of my first day by around 5 p.m. And that's when I decided to head back to West Glacier. So that was a 2-hour drive back, and had dinner at West Glacier, and which I tried the bison burger for the first time. And on my first bite, I thought, it's really good. This is just like any other burger. But then on my second bite, that's when I realized that the bison meat was on another layer of the burger. So when I tasted it, it's it's not my favorite, but it was a nice experience to try. It has this strong aftertaste. And as far as what I saw at West Glacier, so it's the Lake McDonald, and the farthest point you could reach was this trail called Avalanche Trail. It's a nice hike. It's a fairly easy hike. It's a flat hike, and there's a really nice waterfall right there.
To appreciate life and what you give. It's worth it when you're holding me, when you hold me so close. I'm bothering under your skin. Wanna leave a mark so that I can be sure that you remember.
And that was it. That was it for me for day one. On my second day, I had no idea what to do, because I know that I couldn't get any more ticket for my car. I couldn't get the car registration anymore. Going back to West Glacier in the morning, I know that I'd see the exact same thing that I saw on day one. So I thought about it and said, maybe there's some other places that's still interesting close by to Glacier National Park. So I started searching that morning on where to go. So I found this place, and I'm not sure why it's not talked about as much. It's called Many Glacier Road, and there's also a hotel there, Many Glacier Hotel. I've read that there's high chances of wildlife encounter over at that road, so immediately that got me to head over there. So I didn't care anymore if it takes me another 2-hour drive to get back to East Glacier and head over to Many Glacier Road. And so I went ahead and did that. So my original plan was to head over to the going to the Sun Road. And the lineup of wildlife encounter there are mountain goats, deer, moose, bears, fox, and there's just so many variety of things to see over at going to the Sun Road. So all that's been scrapped. And when I found out that in Many Glacier area or road that there's other chances of encountering wildlife, so I just wanted to go there. And I've learned that the best time to encounter wildlife is around dusk or dawn. So I spent the whole morning and noon going around town, going around areas close by to Kalispell. And I spent the day in Whitefish, and went around Whitefish and took pictures of the lake nearby. And then I had moved over to Columbia Falls. And finally, it was time to head to the Many Glacier Road. And on the first few miles, there was nothing there. And I wanted to stop over for a while. I saw this cool lighthouse over by the lake, so I stopped by and took pictures of it. And was waiting to see for any wildlife to appear. and nothing. So got back on my car and head over for the next few miles, and right away there's this bunch of cars parked left and right side of the road, and there's photographers waiting for something, but I couldn't see what it was. And in just a few minutes, I think I was there at the right time at the right place. And in the next few minutes, I saw antlers coming out of the bushes, and it was this amazing, amazing moose. And at one point, I realized that moose encounters are really special. Went back to the other photographers when I was done with taking pictures of the moose, and they did say that they've been around the park for 5 days, and all they saw was bears and foxes, I think. And it was their first time seeing a moose, so I think I was just really lucky. So this was my 4th moose encounter. I saw 3 over at Grand Teton and saw this one majestic moose over here at the Glacier National Park. Oh, and by the way, there was this fox that caught some sort of, I think it was a squirrel in its mouth. So there was this gray fox that was crossing us, walking across us photographers, and he was just looking at us like, can I please pass? So it was a really, really cool experience. And when that was done, I headed over and checked out the Many Glacier Hotel, which is also a very cool looking hotel. It's a Swiss hotel. It's a rustic theme, which really suits the place. And I went outside on the ground floor and started to take pictures of the lake nearby. So there was this awesome lake again. On my way back to the Many Glacier Road, so again, I saw a few cars parked by left and right side of the road, and there's a lot of people who just jumped out of their cars and whipped up their smartphones, and they were taking pictures of something over at the bushes. I couldn't just leave my car in the middle of the road, and I couldn't park anywhere. There's cars left and right. So it's just in the middle of the road with all the people right there. And opposite me was another car coming by, going my way, and he was also stopped right there. And we were just looking at each other, and at one point, one of the people at the road stared at the driver of the other car and just went back shooting the videos of whatever it was they were they were shooting, like they didn't care that they were causing traffic. So one of the cars moved, so I was able to park my car and got down and try to figure out what was going on, and it was a black bear. And it moved too quickly. I only took like 2 shots and it was gone. So it's sad that I didn't get to see his face clearly. And that was my story of what I've been through in the Glacier National Park. So plans didn't really work out, but it's just one of those days that you're given something else. So I felt like it was meant to be for me to explore the Many Glacier Road instead of going to the Sun Road. So I think that's another reason for me to return to Glacier National Park, and hopefully I get to experience the going to the Sun Road next time. All right, so that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching.